Hey, hey, hey. Yes, it is. It's your boy back. KQKC Boxing Channel. And before I get started, I just want to give a shout out to Fanon International Boxing and 78 Sports and definitely Blue Blood Boxing Channel. Man, Blue Blood is all over the place. So give a shout out to him, and hopefully I can be a guest on one of his live stream soon. Okay, as I mentioned, this is KQKC. I am a newly decorated channel. I've been in, it said 2012, but that is incorrect. I've been doing it a little bit over 2 months. So, getting down to business. Or let's say getting down to old business versus new business. Well, we all know how the Deontay Wilder and Eddie Herans debacle took place. Lying, backstabbing, all the above. And the UK people, which I love their boxers, but they believe that the sky is falling if it came from Eddie Hearn. You need to wake up, people over there in the UK. You need to wake up very soon. Because you know why? Your star pupil, Anthony Joshua, is still upset, or let me put it this way, pissed off at his promoter. I call him Fast Eddie Herns, because he always trying to play America. And we all know, what's my motto? Real, recognize real. You got it. So, he still is mad with Eddie Hearn for accepting money from Team Povetkin. Now, why did he accept that money? I don't know, but I can take a big guess. To lose the purse bid so they can have the fight over in Russia. Now, we all know if a country can intervene in another country election, changing a fight is not that hard to do. And we've seen it happen many times in the past. But this time, Eddie Hearns is straight straddling the fence. He got his pocket greased by Povetkin. And, oh, I don't want to forget the WBA. They got their hands in the pot, too. So everybody trying to grab a piece of the pie. Everybody trying to get their money's worth. What? Possibly nothing? Who knows? The fight might not even sell out. Now, Anthony Joshua, I really believe deep down inside he did want to fight Deontay Wilder. Why? Because Wilder embarrassed him. Wilder called him a coward. Wilder called him a pussy. And he called him Annabelle. Annabelle is the name of a cow. And what he's saying is Eddie Hearn is milking his ass. So, Anthony Joshua didn't like that. Because he embarrassed not only Anthony Joshua over here, which they don't know, because they call him Anthony Johnson, and he just sat there and smiled. Remember the American tour he was supposed to be doing, and he didn't talk to nobody really? When he went to see Steph Curry before the game, and Steph Curry threw him the ball, he didn't know what to do with it. Now, I'm going to say it again. I never known any black man that don't know how to dribble a basketball. That was my very first time looking at Anthony Joshua. I mean, what the hell he been doing all his life? But I keep on forgetting. That's the UK. All they have is what? Boxing, cricket. Oh, they want to mention Wimbledon sometimes. That's tennis. And it's not football like we have football. It's soccer. They call it football because you're using your foot to kick the ball. Wow. But anyway, I'm not going to get off the point at hand. So, Eddie Hearns is very, very greedy man. I don't know if he learned that from his Matchroom colleagues or Barry Hearns, his daddy. But I can tell you this. Keep pissing Anthony Joshua off. He might end up signing with Frank Warren, who is from the UK, and a promoter that's in a rival contest with Eddie Hearns. So, if you look at some of the Eddie Hearns videos, you can see very good how he has the gift for gab. That means he can tell you anything and you practically come around and think it's true, which is really not, but he can make you think that. That's why Big Baby Miller had to pull out the fight, because Eddie Hearns probably promised him a lot of money, but at the end they didn't put up no money. But that's my last video. But Big Baby Miller need to step away. But one thing I am glad he did do, he only went in with one foot, not both foot. He went and fought one fight that Eddie Hearns promoted. He won that fight, but he was expecting to get Anthony Joshua, which he think he can win, but never did happen. Now, if he goes back to Eddie Hearns, because see, they didn't have a binding contract. They only had a one-fight deal contract. So, if he goes back, you know, he's a damn fool. And he deserved everything he would get. Now, I believe Eddie Hearns is going to try to get Gerald Miller to fight on his new app, which is called The Zone. But as Deontay Wilder called it, these nuts. So, Eddie Hearns is looking for American fighters to fight on there. But, again, do he realize how Americans work? First of all, it's against the law to try to approach anyone that's signed to a promoter already. So therefore, he can't touch the Keith Thurmans. He can't touch the Earl Spence. Now, Mikey Garcia, he's self-promoted, so he can step to him. The Charlo brothers, you know, he tried to make them an offer, but they told him to kiss his ass. So he's trying to find someone to fight on this new DAZN app that he owed, because he didn't put no money up, that he owed $1 billion. Well, it's going to flop, especially here in the United States. PBC, they have free boxing on ESPN. Well, mostly Top Rank is on ESPN and Golden Boy. And Golden Boy is just about Instinct. But mostly on Bounce and Sports 1 and Showtime. Those are the PBC #1 stations that they do. And they turn out has been phenomenal. Since January the 1st to now, they've been kicking ass. They've been partnering up with Showtime, of course. We all know that. And that was the best collaboration that we've seen in years. Is Al Heyman monopolizing boxing? No. All he's doing is giving these fighters an opportunity to make a decent buck. He's not trying to get rich or anything like that. He's just trying to give a lot of unknown fighters exposure. Known fighters mostly fight on Showtime, and he's trying to get away from that pay-per-view. You know, paying $99 and somebody getting knocked out in the first to the third round. So that's good. So therefore, all you have to do is just, you have cable anyway. Most households have cable. So all you got to do is go to Bounce, because it comes with what? Basic cable. Fox Sports Channel, that comes with basic cable. So that versus the Zone is not going to fly. I mean, who's going to pay? I believe Eddie Herans $19.99 a month for fighters. I know for a fact that they're going to be from the UK and we don't know nothing about them, and it's going to be bullshit. I'm sorry, Eddie Herans won't get my money. Like my boy Fanon, international boxer, said, he won't see a dime of my money. Because he been scamming, he been lying, he been cheating. He sent the contract over to Deontay Wilder. Then he gets on a media tour to say, well, Deontay Wilder been holding on to the contract. Mate. That's how they talk. And that's rubbish. So, why hasn't Deontay signed a contract? Easily. Because the contract was incomplete. You don't know how, like I keep telling everybody, he's the type of person that will send a check and forget to sign it, or don't sign it. So they call him, well, Mr. Herns, you forgot to sign the check, so we can't do nothing with it. We're going to send it back so you can sign it and send it back. So that kills time. See, that's the type of backstabbing snake ass in the grass he is. Adrian Broner, the much problems he have, I'm glad he turned down Eddie Hearn. See, he's going off the black known fighters. He wants the Zone to look good on their debut in a couple months. Well, it's not. Matter of fact, it might flop. It could do good on the UK, because the UK, they #1 sports is what? Boxing. And we all know how our sports work over here. Boxing take a back seat to what? The NBA, the NFL, the MLB, Major League Baseball, hockey. There you might have boxing. So, in the UK, you have boxing first. Then you have, they call it football, but it's soccer. And basically, that's all they really have. They have something called Premier something. I don't understand what it is, but, and cricket, that's about it. True, boxing did start in England, but just because you start something, I mean you can't perfect it. So it started in England, but the United States perfected the boxing. Yes, they did. Now, Anthony Joshua, he can fill an arena with 90,000 people. Deontay Wilder, maybe 40,000. Why is that? Because that country is different than ours. They live, breathe boxing. They would pay $100 for a seat by the bathroom. That's how much they love boxing. Here in America, no, they won't do that. Even though Deontay Wilder's a exciting fighter, and he will knock you out cold. 6'7", 230 pounds, pure muscle. will knock you out. He put a man in a seizure. He knocked a lot of people out cold, which took about 5 or 10 minutes for them to come around. And Anthony Joshua seen that Ortiz fight. Then I think he changed his mind. But the point I'm trying to make is, Eddie Hearn, his manager, is on the verge of losing Anthony Joshua. Now, he might slide by with just little shenanigans he pulled with Team Povetkin and the governing body, the WBA. They all in cahoots together. And Anthony Joshua was left out of the picture. I mean, of course, he'll get his cut when the fight go down. But he's pissed off because he believed that they, Herans, the Povetkin team, and the WBA, messed up his fight with Wilder, which he could have made over $100 million in 12 rounds. And that's on the front end. We're not going to talk about the back end because it was talking about pay-per-view. So here we go. What should a man do? Get Herans another shot? Yes, because he's probably under contract. But the rumor mill says, remember, KQKC do not put everything everybody say to his viewers. I have to really double check to make sure that it's true. But rumor mill says that Anthony Joshua has not signed his extension with Eddie Hearns. Maybe this is the reason why. Maybe Eddie Hearns now saying, oh, my cash cow is about to leave me. So, of course, he's going to talk that fast talk. And Anthony Joshua is going to fall for it, because he always do. And he need to get himself another promoter. Or he can follow Floyd Mayweather. He can follow Earl Spence. He can follow Mikey Garcia. And start promoting your own self. And cut out the middleman. Matter of fact, Earl Spence, he really didn't have to do anything. Everybody else promoted the fight for him. And with Wilder and Joshua, the fight was being promoted anyway. Like it or not. So, they really didn't need Eddie Hearns either. Because everybody was talking about this every day. And we know Blue Blood Sports went all over this. I have. For now, International Boxing has. So, somebody greased the palms of the WBA, Team Povetkin, and Matchroom Boxing / Eddie Hearns. So, Anthony Joshua is still pissed off. I would too. Because we talking about my family. We talking about my family's family. I mean, as Floyd Mayweather. I mean, 100 million. You know, Floyd had made more than that. But still, 100 million, just on the front end now. He can make close to 200-something million. Floyd made 315 million with the Conor McGregor fight. And we know how that ended. See, Floyd self-promoted. So he gets everything goes to him. Everything. You know, the cut man and all that, they only get, what, 2% of Floyd purse. 3%, whatever, you know. The manager or trainer normally get the largest cut. And really, I won't say largest cut, because I think it's only 20%. But anyway, Anthony Joshua, it's time for you to go get your balls back from Eddie Herans and wear them like you should wear them. Because he's going to screw you until he can't screw you anymore. That's right. Sure, you can make $15 million a fight, but who says that Eddie Hearn is not making close to that under the table? Or maybe more than that. What they call in the UK is called Parliament. Parliament is doing an investigation, according to UK sources and Frank Warren, on ticket scalping. They're under investigation for that. Because Eddie Herns claimed that they sell out tickets within 5 minutes. It takes 5 minutes to go get the tickets. So how is that possible that you can sell 90,000 tickets within 5 minutes and sell out? No. You boosting and you promoting his profile. So you're trying to make Anthony Joshua out something he's not. He only had, what, 20-some fights. And he had all those belts. But he don't have the most prestigious belt, the WBC. And that's who? Deontay Wilder. Who has 40 victories with, what, 39 knockouts. Some people call them bombs. I don't call them bombs. Anybody step in that square circle, I respect. I respect every fighter. Right? Why? Because they risk losing their lives. Fighters had died in the ring. Fighters had brain damage. I'm not going to use Muhammad Ali because we all know what happened to him. You know, you can get Parkinson's disease. You can get this and you can get that. You know, God bless Roger Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, longtime trainer and uncle. He has dementia. He was taking too many blows to the head. So that's what type of fighter he was. So that's why Floyd Mayweather Sr. taught his son how to be a defensive fighter. Floyd never get hit that much. And that what made him last so long in the game. Then he retired with a lot of money and all his faculties in place. So hopefully the up and coming young fighters can see that. Remember, they call boxing the sweet science. It's not slugging, it's boxing. It's working off the jab. Remember that. Everything works off the jab. The right hand, set it up with the jab. The 1-2, set it up with the jab. Especially if you have a telephone pole jab like Deontay Wilder. Your jab, you can use it as a measuring stick, or you can use it as setting distance. Remember, everything works off the jab. And also, defense always have to neglect your offense. Then your offense will kick in. Remember, when you fighting someone, you can score points to the head, the midsection, but it's the points that don't count that helps. Once you hit a person on the arms so many times during the fight, of course, that don't score points, but it's going to help you in the long run because a person's arms going to be so sore that he can't throw the punches right or put up his guard as the punches come through. You can open that guard up with your head. I'm not saying doing anything illegal with your head, like headbutts and stuff like that. But if you're the shorter fighter, like Sean Porter, you can open a guard up with your head. All you have to do is put your head in the chest. You know, we're not talking about headbutts now, remember. This is a legal tactic. Then you can work the body as long as you can get them on the rope. So, if you're a person that know how to slide like Earl Spence, when he's going close to the ropes, he know how to jab his way around. The next thing you know, you against the ropes. And he working on you. He uses forearm to create space. So, but we saying how he did Stevenson. Not Stevenson, I'm sorry. Barry's fighter. Okay, Peterson. Lamont Peterson. We saw how he did with Lamont Peterson before he fought Ocampo. And for the life of me, I don't know why Lamont Peterson did not use the ring generalship he normally does. He stood toe-to-toe with Earl, and he know that's suicide. You cannot stand in a straight line with Earl Spence. You know why? Because you're going to get tagged with that southpaw. So, but basically, getting back to Anthony Joshua. It's time to wake up, my brother. Okay? Like Deontay Wilder said, you know, you missed the best opportunity you're going to have right now or a couple years to come. Why? Because he let his team talk him out of making, first of all, $50 million. So he asked for that up front. And of course, they came with $50 million. They had proof. It was in escrow where they can see it and they can have access to it if they sign the contract. But, of course, Eddie Hearns had to put some other stipulations in there. And he knew Al Heyman and Shirley Finkel and Lou DiBello was not going to go for that contract. That's why he didn't put no names on it. So UK people, don't blame Deontay Wilder saying he don't want to fight, he's scared. No, he's not going to sign a bogus contract that was sent over to him via fax. No, I don't blame him. They trying to get Deontay the lowest amount possible and trying to send him over to the UK where Joshua will have a better chance with the home court advantage. So, no, I do not blame Deontay Wilder one bit. And I believe the UK people starting to get what's going on. So, with that, I'm sorry I've been talking 30 minutes, but Anthony Joshua is still upset with Herans and Team Povetkin and the WBA. So, what would be the next move for Anthony Joshua and his promoter, Eddie Herans? We don't know, but I hope and pray that it's a positive one. But Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua will not fight in 2018. And the way it's looking, he's not going to fight in the early part of 2019. If anything works out, it will be the latter part of 2019. If it works out. So, again, my name is KQKC Boxing Channel. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to this channel. If you want to hear some more of updated version of the current state of boxing, hit that notification icon button. And if you like what you hear on the way out, pound that like button also. Because I keep telling you, KQ, KC, don't hold back. I am an unbiased station that's here to give you straight up boxing news. Now, with that, that's all I have to the next time. All right? Peace.